Jessie, how are you?
Really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Great to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me back again.
You're back again, yeah?
Yeah, it's been, 2 years?
I know. Welcome anytime.
Thank you.
All about second album now, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first one did all right, though.
Yeah, didn't
Mercury nomination.
I know.
Come on.
I know, that was good. And then, I was up for Brits, which I found bizarre because I didn't think anybody really knew who I was. So that was a crazy year and it was great. And I got to tour and kind of meet my fans, which I didn't know who they were before. I hadn't toured before the first album. So, it's been really, really great.
I guess that's kind of the start for you, isn't it? Now it's about album number 2 and people really getting to know you and you really establishing yourself as well. I
Absolutely.
get that feeling listening to the single that this is going to be the one that people go, wow, what a voice, and really get to know you.
I think, that was kind of my idea, that I wanted to show a bit more of myself with this album and push myself as well. And, the first album was quite smooth and it didn't impose too much. And it was there just to kind of be that album that people could have on in their cars, and maybe whilst their friends were around, it wasn't supposed to kind of be that upfront. And it was my way of easing myself into doing this as a job. And then this record, I had producers that were like, it's enough now, you need to show a bit more of your voice. Why are you hiding quite a lot of it? So yeah, I kind of kicking and screaming, I decided to show a bit more of what hopefully I can do.
Why the title Tough Love?
I think it looks good and I think I really like song titles being album titles, and also it was the first song for this record that really made me feel like, okay, yeah, we've got something going now, like this is the blueprint. And that was the same for my first record, which was called Devotion. Devotion is a song on the record, on the first record, and that was the song that did the same. So for me, it makes sense in my head that was the beginning of the sonics for this record. So yeah.
I've got to say congratulations, because you've just got married.
Yeah.
Well in. Has it changed much? Little Scouse term,
I like that.
Well in, you can have that one.
I'm going to start using that.
Teaching you Scouse.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love the Scouse.
Next time you see your fella, you just mention it to him.
Well, I would say you could use that on Sunday League, couldn't you? Like when he scores. Shame that he never scores, so he won't be getting that. So
I hope he's not going to listen to this, okay? Because this could be like the first
he doesn't know what's going
married
on.
argument, and I don't want to create that.
He doesn't know what's going on. I think he thinks I'm in Glasgow at the moment, so don't worry about it.
I get married end of this year, so expensive time. I know
Do you
the
need
score.
some advice?
Yeah, come on.
Okay, have you got groomsmen and bridesmaids?
She's sorting all. I've left it all to her.
Have you got any though?
I'm
You've
still
got to
planning
have
the
your
stag
boys.
do. I'm sorting the stag do,
Why
right?
are you sorting your stag do?
Well,
have you got a best man?
I don't trust some of my friends.
Oh,
seriously.
Geez.
Right, there's a guy who works here, Big
Would
Bad
they
Bry, and some of the things he's got planned, and he's told me a couple. I'm like, no. I said, if you're going to do anything like that, you're not coming.
Oh man, no. What I was going to say, you need to. I can't believe you're organising your own stag do.
I know.
That's not really meant to happen.
My brother's my best man, you see.
Okay, so...
And I'm the older brother, so he's just like, he's used to leaving.
He's like, wicked,
yeah, I'll leave it to him.
Okay, well, I just think, get as much organised before and make sure that you've got... Who's DJing?
We're having the wedding at Liverpool Football Club, so it'll be one of
Oh my
DJ.
God, amazing.
I've got a cracking missus, you've got to admit that, you know?
Oh my God, that's so good. That's brilliant. Is Stevie G
he's invited.
Marrying you?
He can come down and do the service if he wants, like Brendan Rodgers, whatever, that'd be good.
That's
even
amazing.
asked when we went down to the club if we could get married at 3 o'clock. Not that there's many 3 o'clock kickoffs these days, but anyway.
That's so good. Oh man, I hope it goes well.
But never mind my wedding,
Yeah.
It's all about you now, and it sounds like it's going really well for you, but then when I hear the music I can tell, maybe in the past it's been it's the tough love.
Yeah, I don't want anybody thinking that I've just got married and I've called my album Tough Love and we've just made it good and this was
The singles Say You Love Me as well. I'm thinking, that's, could be a wedding song. But when you actually listen to it, it's not about love going well. It's about love sort of drifting apart, isn't it?
Yeah, and coming back together and then drifting apart again. I think That song I wrote with Ed Sheeran, and it's the last song we wrote on the record, and we wrote it very quickly, and I think it was totally instinctive. We didn't know what we were writing it or who we were writing it for. Everything that came out, we were telling a story together, and it felt, that kind of gut feeling, and singing it, I believed everything I was saying, but I didn't really know what it was about. And so it was very weird, but after the song was written and I had time to kind of digest the song, because it was quite whirlwind how we wrote it. We wrote it in New York, and, he was very busy on his promo tour, and we had not that long, but it just flowed out. It was amazing. And the next day when I was listening to it and I was feeling all these emotions, and I was like, God, this is a really emotive song. It really harked back in my head to my husband and I broke up for 2 years, Kiss Some Frogs, and then I got my Prince back. And then now that I listen to it and now that I sing it, I think back to that time when we broke up, and it was that thing of like, is this going to work? Are we not going to work? I adore you, but I don't know if we can be together. So now it's kind of taken on this different personality, where it's a song that means something to me, even though when I was writing it I didn't know that was what it was about. So it was totally instinctive when we wrote it.
I think that speaks volumes that you and Ed have worked together, number one, because he wouldn't waste his time. He's a busy man these days.
I know.
But number two, you haven't had a lot of time together, and what has actually come out in terms of this single is fantastic. I think people are going to listen to this and it's going to chart, but I think it's going to rise when it charts as well. I think it's going to spread. That's the feeling that I'm getting anyway.
Thank you. I think for me, I'm sorry, my
It's okay. It's Ed. It'll be Ed. Tell him to, you're
Definitely
busy.
Definitely not Ed. It's probably like one of those annoying automated
PPI.
Yeah.
Where do they get your number from?
I know, and I always fall for it. Hello.
Yeah.
Are you? Hello.
I'm sick of having missed call unknown. So now when I get the unknown number, I answer it and it's flaming PPI. I'm like,
I know,
why did I
it's
answer?
so annoying. This song, I think it's felt really positive. The first time I played it in a festival, before it had even been played on the radio, people were singing along by the end of the track, because it's got that quite anthemic thing to it. And it encourages people to want to sing it. It's a real kind of, everyone together, let's shout it out. And I think people are still discovering me. And I think this song hopefully will help more people discover me. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think it's got that familiar thing that Wildest Moments had from my first record, which, didn't chart, but it became this quite kind of cultish thing where that's the song when I play, people sing at the top of their voices. And I think kind of Say You Love Me is going to have this too, maybe.
I think when Say You Love Me starts off, there's a bit of a Beyonce feel to it.
Oh, thanks.
And then when you're singing your heart out, I can hear a bit of Jessie J as well.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's cool.
That's the impression I got from it anyway.
Thank you.
For what it's worth.
Well, I'm not complaining. Thank you very much.
Did you have fun shooting the video?
Should I answer?
Honestly.
When
I watched the video, I thought this is quite simple, but I respect you for doing that, keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Because it tells the message that's in the song, where you're sat on this rock and you're kind of surrounded by nothing, and then there's all stuff in the background, but you're feeling sort of isolated maybe.
There was an executive decision made on that video where it could have been littered with lots of these birds, and it just didn't feel right. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do this on my own. It was supposed to be slightly bizarre. And yeah, I mean, I just want the song to do the talking. Do you know what I mean? It's
Spot on.
I think that you can have a bit of smoke and mirrors and stuff, but actually I just want people to listen to the song. The videos are fun and all that, but like really, sometimes they're not the most important thing to me.
There's too much focus sometimes on the video and the number of hits and, getting your clothes off to get people to watch it or whatever. When in actual fact, you hit the nail on the head there. The music should do the talking, because it's a song at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like totally covered up in it. And I have terrible lighting on my face, giving really bad shadows. It's not the most like forgiving video.
See, I didn't notice all this.
Yeah, but I'm a girl. But like, videos can be really fun. Videos can be really, you just feel like, oh, why am I doing them? But they get to a different audience. But yeah, what I really want is just people to hear a live version of it, and that's the thing that they're clicking on the YouTubes, you know what I mean?
I think Simon Cowell needs to get his backside in gear and get you on the X Factor.
I would really like that.
I know you've done X Factor polling, haven't you? You need to do our X Factor, because when people see you sing live, they'll go, wow, who's this girl? I need to get her album. That's a cracking song.
I kind of thought it would be quite a good audition song for people too.
Yeah.
Say You Love Me I've obviously missed the auditions because, I can't be in the auditions obviously because I'm signed, but for other people to have sung, I would have liked to have seen people sing Say You Love Me. But yeah, I would love to be on X Factor. That'd be excellent. What
would be your advice to people who are, on that show now, or maybe someone who's listening to this now who's got a talent? They could be 15, 16, whatever, and they're thinking, I'm going to audition for something like that next year maybe, or whatever. What would be your advice to them?
If they're 15 or 16, I feel like they maybe call me a bore. I just think take your time. There's no rush. Like, if you've got a voice, you're going to have a voice when you're 40. And I'm not saying wait till 40, but I just think enjoy being a kid and a teenager. And I feel very boring, but like, get your education and just don't jump into it, because it's a job and it's a very taxing, crazy job. And it sometimes feels bizarre and not real, and I think you could lose sight of kind of reality and what's actually real. So just kind of take your time, because your voice isn't going anywhere.
I suppose that life experience as well gives you the songs to write about and to sing about.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's so enticing, isn't it? Because, you see this glamour with it. But I just think when you're 16, I get some people can do it and they're incredible and they'll make the right decisions. They'll have an amazing team around them and it will all work out. But like, enjoy being a kid and being a bit innocent, because
live life a little.
Yeah, that's what I think anyway. But I started a bit late, so yeah.
Tour dates. I know you've got a Manchester date coming up and a London date.
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
going to be that I'm announcing that tour it fully soon. I don't know why it hasn't been announced yet, but that's going to be a bigger tour. So hopefully I'll have a few more northern dates.
LIVERPOOL.
I've never played here.
I was going to say Liverpool FC then, but I best hadn't.
Yeah, I would. I'd love to play here, man. I can't believe I've never played here. If I don't play in Liverpool, can you please all come to Manchester, if you don't mind?
We'll bear that journey down the 62 or the East Lancs just to see you, okay? Hear that voice.
Thanks.
Jessie, thanks so much for coming in.
Cheers. Thanks
Let's
for
get the brand
having
new
me.
single on.
Okay.